Good afternoon. I'm Trista Keaton, and you're watching The Source. For today's Source, we have a feature on the Stand with Palestine protest organized by the Democratic Socialists of DePauw, held last Saturday in Bowman Park. We also have a story on the cybersecurity incident on campus. We will now go to Jake on the ground.
Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Hi, I'm Jake Wood with The Source. We're reporting live from Bowman Park, where there's currently a pro-Palestine demonstration going on. Let's get to it.
No justice, no peace! U.S. out of the Middle East!
No justice, no peace! U.S. out of the Middle East!
All right, so my first question for you is, what brings you out here today?
We're out here hoping to bring awareness to the campus of the genocide that's being carried out in the Gaza Strip. This is not a one-time occurrence. This has been going on since the beginning of Israel, where Israel has engaged in genocide against the Palestinian people, and they have been slowly encamping them in.
Show up to protest all around the country, all around your city, all around your locales, so that you can show the world that you do not stand for violence, that you do not stand for genocide.
So now in terms of DePauw, right? The administration, they made some pretty controversial statements with regards to this issue, and obviously we're having a protest here on campus. What do you guys hope to achieve here?
I think the hopes to achieve, you can, check out the Democratic Socialist statement to find out more about what we would like to achieve. But we're looking for the university to acknowledge the Palestinian genocide, to rescind their support of Israel and their apartheid practices, because obviously, that's horrific. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for more efforts on campus to reduce like a Zionist presence here and create safe spaces for Jewish students that aren't Zionist spaces, that are unsafe spaces for Arabic and Muslim students to be in. So
Israel, stop the slaughter!
Israel, stop the slaughter!
Gaza must have food and water!
Gaza must have food and water!
Israel, stop the slaughter!
A lot of U.S. politicians, a lot of important political figures have considered these demonstrations, especially campus demonstrations, showing solidarity with Palestine. They've referred to them as pro-terrorism or anti-Semitic. What is your response to that?
Well, I would say we have to go back into the history and look at the origins of the Zionist movement. At its beginning, the Zionist movement was advertised as a colonial project. The founders of Zionism even used those specific words, colonialism. And this was a project which carved out a space in the Middle East where there were peoples who were living in harmony previously for thousands of years, and created violence there in order to have a project to eliminate those people, the Muslims in Palestine. And I think that there is a lot of violence on both sides, but you also have to look at the motivations for that. So the reasons that Palestinians are fighting back is because they have endured violence for 75 years, and if you just sit there and take it, then Israel's going to keep doing it. They're not going to stop. We've seen multiple attempts at peace, and Israel does not want peace. So I think that really it's more about self-defense in this case. If you look at the numbers of how many Israelis have died versus how many Palestinians have died, the numbers are disproportionately in favor of Palestinians. There are far more Palestinians that have been killed in this conflict. So if the violence, is going on both sides, we really can't equate what's going on the Palestinian side with the Israeli side. One side is funded by the United States military, the biggest military in the world, and the other is, a group of people who barely have food and water, and they are just fighting back against an occupation. So you really can't equate the two.
Palestine, don't you cry! We will not let you die! We will not let you die!
A lot of interesting opinions out there. It's very interesting to see a demonstration. This is the first that we've seen in a long time here at DePauw University, something of this scale. Back to you, Trista.
Investigate DePauw's cybersecurity incident and the lack of communication surrounding it. DePauw learned of this cybersecurity incident last Tuesday morning, not communicating to students the Wi-Fi shutdown, e-services shutdown, and Moodle shutdown until 2:37 p.m. The university promised to keep updating students and to look out for an email late Tuesday night. However, the students waited for this email but received nothing until Wednesday afternoon around 4 p.m. This email prompted the students and faculty to continue on as normal, pressuring faculty to pay for print materials, use of hotspot data, and conduct their classrooms without Moodle. Currently, the guest Wi-Fi is back at full capacity, and students remain uncertain if Moodle or EVE services will come back this semester. Here is the statement from DePauw when the source asked for comment. We now move into the War Room, a segment of the source, with PAC student and researcher Jake Wood.
Thanks, Trista, and welcome to the War Room. Israel's Minister of Defense is claiming that the Israeli Defense Forces have entered, quote, the heart of Gaza City. In a statement made on Tuesday, November 7th, Israeli Minister of Defense Yoav Gallant claimed that Israel's military forces have stormed the city in full coordination between land, air, and sea forces, quote. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also made a similar statement where he alleged Israeli forces were surrounding the city. While not directly contradicting Israeli claims of being inside Gaza City, Hamas claimed earlier on Tuesday that it had been inflicting, quote, heavy losses on Israeli forces. Regardless of the claims, civilians still continue to bear the brunt of the offensive, with Gaza's health ministry claiming that over 10,000 people had now died as a result of Israel's military operation. In other news, refugees have reported that new violence has erupted in the Darfur region of Sudan after militants seized a military base in the regional capital of Janina. Members of the rebel Rapid Support Forces and Arab militias have reportedly begun targeting members of the Masalit ethnic group after they captured Janina and its military base, after months of fighting with government forces. Throughout the battle, reports of violence by the RSF towards Masalit civilians were widespread, with one group even claiming that upwards of 5,000 civilians, mostly Masalit, were killed by the rebels during the initial push for the city. New reports of violence come from refugees who have fled into Chad, who say that the RSF and its allies are continuing killings of non-Arab civilians. The RSF has yet to respond to allegations, and its leaders have previously denied claims of violence, but the group has its origins in the Janjaweed, a militia internationally condemned for sectarian attacks across Darfur. Thank you for watching this episode of The Source. Be sure to follow us at D3TV on all social media to stay updated on the real news.